What is up, guys? It's your boy Alex, and welcome back to another reaction video that we got today. I want to apologize for not getting a video out next week. I mentioned this in a community post last week that sadly I have not been feeling good, and well, I'm still kind of in that same boat of not feeling good. Found out the reason why. It's allergy season today, and allergies have been acting up really badly. And the fact is, there's like a ton of pollen just everywhere in my area I live at, and it's just gotten worse. In fact, my sister has not been feeling good either, so she is just laying down, trying to rest and trying to feel better, which I should be doing that. But I wanted to at least attempt to get a video out today for you guys. I might be able to get another video out this week or two. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I will try my best because, you know, I don't want you guys to get upset and like that I haven't posted anything and that I've stopped doing videos on my channel or something like that. I don't want you guys to have that feeling in your head or anything. As you know, I'm trying my best to get videos out for you guys. I really am. So here's one for you guys to let you know that I'm kind of getting there, feeling better. Been mostly coughing up phlegm, mostly, and been kind of stuffed up a little bit in my nose. But, you know. Anyway, so if you couldn't tell from today's title video, yes, we're doing another dead meat video, and it's been a while since I did a dead meat video on this channel. I think I know the only one that I did so far was Happy Death Day to You, and yeah, that was the only dead meat video that I think I did on my channel so far, because I've been doing other stuff on here and trying to get other content out also. But today, this is an interesting one, because we're going to be looking at one of the films that made one of my favorite horror icons classic. And that is the man, the myth, the legend, Tony Todd, a.k.a. the Candyman. And that's what we're taking a look at today. Yes, we're taking a look at Dead Meat's kill count / review of Candyman. Now, this was confusing because I thought at first the person that requested this wanted me to react to the 2021 Candyman re-sequel, the reboot sequel that came out in 2021. Everyone knows about that one. But apparently they actually wanted me to talk about the original Candyman, the very first Candyman, with the true Candyman, Tony Todd. So, not going to make this intro go any longer. We're just going to get this video started. Okay, let's get this started. And I want to apologize if I end up coughing a little bit in this video. Like I said, still trying to get over allergy season, so apologies in advance for this entire video if there's coughing and sneezing sometimes, or trying to clear my throat. But anyway, with that being said, let's dive right into Dead Meat's kill count on Candyman. So, start the video in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. And let me scooch over. I need to scoot forward a little bit because I don't feel like leaning over like this every time I have to start the video or pause it, because that actually can be painful with my neck. Oh boy. But anyway, we're not going to waste any time and just jump right into the video so things can get going. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully by this point I can start feeling better, at least.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at my favorite pre-Scream 90s horror film, Candyman, which came out in 1992, based on a story called The Forbidden by Clive Barker.
I think most people do forget that this movie is based off a book written by Clive Barker, which, fun fact, if you people didn't know, also wrote Hellraiser and directed Hellraiser also.
Candyman is a thoughtful and sometimes dreamlike film film that never beats you over the head with the message, despite the myriad themes it explores. So in that regard, it's kind of like the opposite of a Purge movie. Although Candyman is about a dude with a hook for a hand, which he uses to kill anybody who calls for him in the mirror, Candyman is not the cheesy slasher that this premise may suggest. Instead, it's an ethereal slow burn that becomes darkly romantic in the vein of Phantom of the Opera, as the titular man of myth pursues a grad student, played by Virginia Madsen, with such an intensity and passion, he'll do anything to make her follow him into death. Candyman is the best-known role of prolific actor Tony Todd, whose over 200 credits include the mysterious William Bloodworth from the Final Destination series. He also sat down with me for my favorite interview to date, so make sure you check that out on Crypt TV's Meetup. We had a great time talking about Thai food and imagining what it'd be like if he were...
Okay, now that movie would have been 10 times more interesting if Tony Todd was in it.
Film's 2 sequels, which eventually do become the cheesy
yeah.
slasher you may have expected, and which we'll be looking at over the next couple.
Also, again, bringing up Hellraiser a bit, originally Pinhead was not meant to be the main antagonist of every single Hellraiser movie. Yeah, but because of, like, the popularity of the character and when he was first introduced, he just became, like, the main antagonist and just fell into the category of generic slasher villain, sort of. I mean, like, not that there's anything wrong with, like, the generic slasher villain, but when you make him too over the top, it gets pretty bad.
Right? The sequels will give us more kills and backstory, but before we can get to them, we've got to start where it all began, in the rundown Chicago public housing project, Cabrini Green. How many kills will we get from the Seaman in Chi-Town? Let's find out and get to them. The movie begins with a title card and some dope-ass music by Philip Glass.
And honestly, the music is what is almost the selling point for this movie, besides Tony Todd listed in the credits, or the cast, basically. You know what I mean.
Elegance of the film, to borrow a phrase from Tony Todd. Shit, it sounds like the Phantom himself is pounding away at those keys.
Yeah. Yeah. Had to clear my throat there for a second.
How about we follow that up with some beans and a message from the Candyman as to what he's gonna do with that handy hand.
When I first saw this, I thought the bees were like stop motion, but nope. Those are real bees.
I'll split you from your groin, your gullet.
What an excellent way to immediately establish this movie's tone. Not sure what's up with the biblical...
And they're forming an army over the city. Oh no, they're gonna take over the world!
The story is told to her about a babysitter in Indiana whose poor judgment wasn't limited to getting naked with greaser Ted Raimi. It also extended to her summoning the hook-handed Candyman by saying his name 5 times in a mirror. That's right, Candyman is summoned by saying his name 5 times, not 3. Common mistake, but 3 is more of a Bloody Mary thing. Even though she has the opportunity to stop after 4, this babysitter Clara goes all the way and says his name
boy.
time by herself.
Candyman.
And then...
She turned out the lights.
And died! Yeah,
Oof.
we'll count Clara on the list. Even though
And she
the
becomes the
veracity
first
of
victim on the
is
kill
pretty
count.
obvious, what with this being an urban legend and all. And yeah, I know the student telling the story mentions a baby being killed too, but we never saw that fictional baby to begin with, so it stays off the count. Helen is collecting these urban legends with her friend Bernadette, played by Casey Lemons, who had just in the previous year been in another esteemed horror film, Silence of the Lambs. They're recording these stories as research for their thesis project on urban legends at the University of Illinois, where Helen's husband Trevor already teaches as a professor. Trevor is played by Xander Berkeley, who you may know as a beleaguered foster father or a cowardice...
And yet, if I remember correctly, he sadly does not get his comeuppance in this movie at all.
Don't shake that homewrecker's hand.
I mean, if anyone remembers the ending, then yeah, I think it makes it look like he gets his comeuppance, but I don't think anything happens to him.
Interview about Candyman, which is overheard by a custodian named Henrietta. Henrietta and her friend Kitty tell Helen about a woman named Ruthie Jean, who was recently murdered, ostensibly by Candyman.
She was killed with a hook.
But unlike these working-class women, Helen and Bernadette don't believe that Candyman is real. And to prove it to each other, they both say his name in the mirror.
Yeah.
Ends up all alone for the 5th result.
Okay. This is just something that it's always a common trope in horror movies that us as white people decide to do something this stupid. I mean, I really don't get why it's a common thing. When, me personally, I would never do this kind of crap because it's dangerous, it's spooky, and no one freaking does it! Like, people are smart enough to know not to do this kind of stuff to summon ancient demons and stuff, or this.
Oh, you chicken.
The next day, the two of them take Helen's red car to Cabrini Green, which is where Ruthie Jean was murdered. Although Bernadette was appropriately anxious, Helen is determined to write a kick-ass thesis and learn why this community is attributing some of its murders to a fictional mythical man. Cabrini Green, a central part of this movie, was a public housing project in Chicago that, in real life, was indeed a site of violent gang activity for many a decade. According to Tony Todd, there were 5 different gang factions operating there while they shot the movie. Production had to pay them off in order to shoot the exterior scenes, and they even used some of them to portray the Cabrini Green residents suspicious of Helen and Bernadette when they arrived. These dudes here are actual gang members, wearing their own clothes to play these parts.
Odd color choices for their gang, but hey, it was their choice.
Known as Loop Group. Apparently, those efforts weren't enough to entirely avoid any incidents, though, because Casey Lemons recalls a bullet being found in the production's generator, and producer Alan Pohl says that on their last day of shooting, their camera truck was shot. In the nearly 3 decades since Candyman was filmed, the area's crime rate has gone down, and the last of...
Yeah, that really is kind of messed up. Kind of reminds me of back in the day when the stuff that happened during the filming of, like, The Exorcist, when, like, a lot of the cast members would, like, mysteriously die and stuff. And then, of course, there was, like, when they filmed The Nun at the place they filmed at, found out that place was haunted, so they actually brought in a priest to bless the place before they started filming. Don't really think it worked out too well for most people. Yeah, I think it's safe to say, don't film anywhere abandoned or, you know, supposedly haunted, because that kind of stuff will get you, man. Ugh. Just basically don't film anywhere that's, like, creepy. Like, very, very creepy, or bad stuff's gonna happen. Like, jeez. Like, just think about that. That's like, really, really messed up when you think about it. Ugh. Anyway, let's just continue on.
After all, although it features a kick-ass black horror villain to join the genre's esteemed pantheon, it also sometimes falls back on tropes that can be seen as harmful. There's a great special feature on the Blu-ray called Unwrapping Candyman, where authors Donna Reeve Dew and Stephen Barnes discuss Candyman's complex relationship with race. And there are also countless articles and essays on the same subject available online. I don't have the expertise or experience to talk about that kind of stuff, especially in a kill count, but I encourage you to do further research if you're interested. There's a lot to be learned from this movie. In exterior shots filmed on location, Helen and Bernadette make their way past some residents who immediately presume them to be cops.
Hands up, people! 5 coming out the back door!
Okay, random shouting from those guys, I guess.
So with that in mind, and because the rest of the scene was all filmed on a studio set, she feels safe enough to take pictures of everything she finds. Like this Hamlet quote graffitied on the wall, "Sweets to the sweet," and this awesome metal door.
And a jump scare dog.
This movie actually has quite a few jump scares. I won't be too mean about them, though. They go to the bathroom.
Sly smile, James. I know you're going to.
Candyman coming out of her mirror. But Helen discovers that behind Ruthie Jean's mirror is another apartment. And although Bernadette warns her against it, she climbs on through.
I wasn't even sure how they were able to fit in there.
Abandoned unit, Helen finds a kick-ass open-mouth mural.
Maybe I should actually question that, actually.
Even just the sight of that.
Someone's being a bit artistic today.
Maybe have some of that candy there for a little energy boost. Oh, on second thought, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, but best not to eat that kind of candy.
She and Bernadette go to leave, only to run into a resident named Anne-Marie on their way out. She's the one with the jump scare dog. She's also got a little baby named Anthony, who she's just trying to raise here, despite the reputation this building's residents have.
We ain't all like them assholes downstairs, you know?
After bonding with Helen over her baby, Anne-Marie, played by Vanessa A. Williams, opens up and tells Helen that when Ruthie Jean was murdered, she heard it through the walls. Now she's afraid for herself and her child, because they ain't never gonna catch him.
Who?
Candyman.
Candyman.
Helen and Bernadette have a smoky dinner with Trevor and another professor named Philip Purcell. Purcell also studies urban legends and gets excited when he hears that the ladies went to Cabrini Green.
Candyman country.
Turns out this dude has
I never liked how he said that.
which qualifies him to deliver a lengthy monologue of exposition. As Purcell tells it, Candyman was the son of a slave who was able to raise the young candy boy in polite society thanks to money he made creating a device to mass manufacture shoes. Can you even imagine getting rich from making shoes? What a crazy way to make money, says the guy who counts kills for a living. Candyman took to the canvas and became a painter of portraits of wealthy people's families. He and one of his painting subjects, a young white woman, fell in love. And when she became pregnant, her enraged father led a lynch mob that killed Candyman right on the spot where Cabrini Green stands today.
They proceeded to saw off his right hand with a rusty blade.
But wait, there's more. As
Alright, sorry about that. I had to answer a message real quick, but you really had to channel your inner Stu and Wayans brothers there, Dead Meat or James. Yeah, I gotta call him by his real name, James. So there's that. You really had to go for that? Okay, well, you know, whatever to get a joke out there, just be like, but wait, there's more! I can't even do it. I feel like sick and I can't even say it.
Body was smeared with smashed honeycombs, causing a billion bees to stab him straight to death. Helen is mystified and returns to Cabrini Green to take more pictures of the Candyman artwork there. On her way out, Helen goes to see
Let me scoot up a little bit.
But it doesn't look like anyone's home. Except her jump scare and dog, that is.
Yeah, the jump scare dog was still there just to say hi.
Played by 11-year-old Dewan Guy, although he's not eager to divulge in the dialogue she's looking for.
I can't say nothing. A Candyman'll get me.
She promises to keep their conversation a secret, so Jake agrees to take her outside, past a giant heap of wood he says is for an upcoming bonfire, and up to
Got a good pile going on over there.
Helen that a kid was maimed inside when Candyman castrated him with his hook. Helen, ever the brave skeptic, heads inside
sorry
the
about
bathroom
that.
and finds some stinky sweets on the wall. The gross excrement there was made of chocolate and ginger biscuits by makeup artist.
Dang!
Helen follows an arrow on the wall in a stall to discover a toilet full of bees.
Oh no, not a bee toilet!
Pictures of that pea hive, a man in a trench coat enters. And don't look now, but he's got a hook in his hand. Whoa, and a whole crew? I didn't know Candyman rolled so deep. Helen tries to talk her way out of this situation, but in this case, her luck has finally run out.
I hear you looking for Candyman, bitch. Well, you found him.
Oh shoot.
Mostly off screen and discovered by Jake in the back.
Thankfully they did that off screen.
Some excellent comedic
Oh, that would have been painful to watch.
Step back.
Great cut there. Probably the funniest moment of the movie. Helen, whose eye is looking...
Oh, seeing it though, dang, she's got a swollen eye.
Bruised eyewitness testimony, this dude Detective Valento is finally able to put the criminal away. The police are happy about that, since this guy's the one who's been calling himself Candyman and who murdered Ruthie Jean after climbing through her medicine cabinet. With the man behind the moniker arrested, Helen tells Jake that he has nothing left to worry about, because Candyman isn't actually real, he was just a myth being used as a cover story.
Candyman ain't real? No.
Yeah, shouldn't have said that.
Camera film back from Bernadette, she has an unexpected visitor in the parking garage.
Helen.
Oh, crap.
Yes?
Helen.
Oh, snap. It's finally time.
Yeah, it's finally time, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
arrival of the actual
There he is!
Candyman.
Helen. I came for you.
Oh, and with that dope-ass trench coat, courtesy of costume designer Leonard Pollock, there is no way Helen can turn down that proposal.
Oh,
Candyman
shoot.
walks towards her, admonishing her for doubting his existence and making her cry with nothing more than the power of his voice. Well, and his devilish good looks.
Oh, yeah.
No problem, man. You don't have to ask me twice.
Be my victim.
Yeah.
Hey, say no more, Mr. Todd. Say no more.
I mean, maybe if they've got a major bee phobia, then things could get a little dodgy, I guess. Helen's reaction to the Candyman was still
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Bernard Rose knew he didn't want Helen Mild to scream at the sight of him, since that was so cliche and also, according to him, kind of obnoxious.
It's very annoying to watch people screaming.
I guess with some people they find, like, you know,
Instead,
girls
she wanted to be
screaming annoying.
transfixed by the Candyman. And to achieve such an enraptured appearance, Rose took Virginia Madsen to an actual hypnotist. Despite her initial skepticism, it ended up working on her.
The next thing I know, I'm having this conversation.
Wow.
And at some
Okay,
point,
that's interesting.
I realized that my arm was like this, and I have no conscious memory of putting my arm up. And I was like, no, that's super creepy. Let's do it again.
And so, in the shot where Madsen looks completely
Hey, once you do it once, you're like, yeah, let's keep doing it.
hypnotized, since the hypnotist gave Rose a word to use on set whenever they needed Helen to fall under Candyman's spell. It was one of many eccentric
Oh
things
gosh, that creepy smile.
that sometimes left Madsen feeling very disoriented.
Once he would start hypnotizing me, I was not very aware of my surroundings. I really couldn't see the crew. I could see the lights, and all the lights became very, very blurry because my pupils would be dilated. And pretty much the only thing I could hear was Bernard.
Eventually, after a day of shooting that she was unable to recall in any way, she decided to call it quits on the technique.
By the end of it, I was like, you know what? I can't do it anymore, Bernard. Don't come near me with that look on your face, because I'm not going under.
Helen apparently passes out from Candyman's aura since she wakes up on a bathroom floor covered in a jacket and lots of blood.
Oh, she's covered in blood.
It's not your blood, it's just the blood of Anne-Marie's dog over there. Helen stupidly picks up the
From
blood
her dog, from
and follows
Ruthie's
Anne-Marie
dog.
Screams into a bedroom, where she finds her rocking an empty, bloody crib. Anne-Marie sees an attack.
Oh, she's going crazy.
Her to have kidnapped baby Anthony. Helen's
Oh,
able to
no.
defend herself with that cleaver, but she's looking like quite the aggressor when the police come in and break up the fight. Helen is arrested and taken to the police station to get processed by a cop played by Rusty Schwimmer, previously seen on the
Are you gonna
countdown as both the
strip
angry
in front of the
giant
cop while you're all
and
bloody?
the sweet secretary of John Gallagher Jr. in the Belko experiment.
Yeah, we know what happened to her in that movie.
Under arrest for attacking Anne-Marie, killing her dog, and kidnapping her baby. Trevor's not home when she calls him around 3 a.m., but he does pick her up the next morning and takes her back home where they talk to her lawyer.
Now, they haven't charged you because they think they'll find the body.
Oh, what? The baby body? I know where it is. It's hanging out in the B building. Helen doesn't know that yet, though, so she's unable to provide any
And
info
also,
that would
I
make
thought
her
for a
seem
second the
like
movie was
Anne-Marie.
skipping there for a
Trevor
second.
steps out to pick something up from work. Yeah, okay. And Helen passes the time by drinking, smoking, and looking at a slideshow of the pictures from her camera. In one of them, she sees Candyman. No, not the cool mural of him. The actual motherfucker himself. You sure this is a good time to look into that Candyman portal, Helen? Who knows what could happen?
Oh!
Was actually legit,
Yeah,
since Bernard
that's a good
Rose
scare right there. That's awesome.
Still kind of mad about it.
Tony Todd, knowing it would scare her, didn't want to participate, and after Rose convinced him to do it anyway, he ended up apologizing profusely to Madsen.
And then, of course, he felt so terrible that I was really scared. But it's all right, Tony.
Oh, that's what you gotta like about Tony Todd. He's awesome when he's like apologetic and he doesn't want to, like, you know, terrify people too much.
Only to find him there too, standing right behind her. He scolds Helen.
Yep, already using those serial killer trademark teleporting powers.
Destroy the faith of my congregation. Without them, I am nothing.
And to make people believe in him again, he's threatening to kill her. Though, on the bright side, he does say it'll make her immortal. You could do worse on a deal with death. During their negotiation, Bernadette shows up at Helen's apartment. She hears Helen crying and comes in to help her, only to find Candyman waiting for her behind the door. The actual kill takes place off screen. But after
Okay.
Trevor comes home to find Helen with a
Odd
knife,
choice to kill
he
her best
discovers
friend.
Helen
What did he do to her?
for her best
What
friend.
happened there?
She's driven to a psych ward. Candyman talks inside her head and tells her how awesome it is to be a legendary ghost. She should totally try it sometime. Helen is strapped to a bed and left alone, which is when Candyman pays her another visit, floating over her like a beautiful, graceful swan. A candy swan.
Okay, now why am I get the feeling that Brad Dourif would have been in this movie and he would have done the same thing that he did in Alien Resurrection? Instead, he'd be like, "You're a beautiful, beautiful candy swan." Oh, jeez. Let me know in the comments section if that's what you think he would have done if he was in Candyman, or if he was in this movie saying that. Oh, boy. Ugh. I mean, again, Brad Dourif is a pretty good actor when he played Chucky, honestly, but
Checks Helen with some
ugh.
drugs. Meanwhile, over in Cabrini Green, baby Anthony is being given some much better treatment. Look, he's got all the honey he could ever want. Helen awakens and is taken to see a psychologist named Dr. Burke, who's got some pretty surprising news for her.
Now, for the past month,
Month?
yes, we've been stabilizing you on a heavy dosage of Thorazine.
Whoa, what? She's been committed for a full damn turn of the moon already? He plays her a video from the night she was admitted, which shows her yelling at nothing, even though we all saw Candyman planking on her midair.
This movie perfected it before The Invisible Man did.
Has Candyman been a
Not the original
imagination all along?
Invisible Man, but the
Don't
remake.
girl. She asserts her sanity and says she can prove it by calling for Candyman in the mirror. 5 utterances later, she gets to say, "I told you."
Of course!
When Candyman's hook emerges from Dr. Burke's...
Ooh, got him good!
Between this movie's rated R and unrated versions, which you may have been able to tell.
Dang!
Stock quality. It's weird though. I don't think there's anything too ridiculously heinous here. With another kill in this candy bag, Candyman tells Helen that she's his now, then frees her from the restraints and straight up yeets him out the window. Fuck, I love that
He just
crazy ass
yeeted
shot.
himself out the window!
As
What are you
Helen
doing,
stabs him on the
Candyman?
wall,
You
Helen
can't
jumps
do
out
that!
the windowsill and makes her
Oh
way
my
into the
gosh.
neighboring room, where she knocks out a nurse and robs her of her clothes. Yeah,
I don't really think that would have
happening right
killed her. It just knocked her out cold.
Hospital and runs wee all the way home, right into a freshly painted apartment. And boy, is that color hideous. Who would have ever chosen that bubblegum trash? Oh.
I mean, let's be honest, like, I have a friend online who now likes the color pink.
Yo, Trevor, you see that shit? Where you at, dog?
What's the matter, sweetie pie? Did you make another little boo-boo?
Haha, no, but you probably just made a little doo-doo. Helen uses her rage to terrify Trevor and Stacy and tells them that the color they picked is a tragedy. Fuck yo walls. She's angry and threatening only for a minute, though, before she realizes just how screwed she is thanks to Candyman's gaslighting.
It's a very
It's over.
Yeah, pretty much.
awkward
Helen. Ain't
scene
no
going
one
on.
else left for you in this city.
All you have left is my desire for you.
Well, except that. At least you still have that. She returns to Cabrini
Okay.
Green and enters the abandoned murder apartment so she can climb back through the bathroom mirror and see what the
Also,
Candyman
did it get
has
smaller
done.
the last time
Ooh,
she
some
saw it?
candles. That's nice. Oh, and a hook. Probably could have guessed that. She climbs up to another floor and finds herself in Candyman's lair, a pad with high ceilings and exposed I-beams that was created by production designer Jane Ann Stewart. Inside this lair, filled with church-like murals of our favorite B-boy, done by graffiti artist Kelly Deco, Helen strangely finds the Candyman taking a little snooze. Wait, isn't that guy a ghost? Do ghosts need to sleep? What do ghosts even dream of? Haunted sheep? She goes to hook herself a big one, but he wakes up right as she sticks him in the neck.
Aha! Surprise! I trained myself to sleep with my eyes closed.
About Helen coming to visit him, even if it is mostly for the sake of baby Anthony.
Surrender to me now, and he shall be unharmed.
They have a romantic spin around, which originally lasted a lot longer and included Helen declaring her love for the Candyman. But apparently the studio made them cut it
What?
because of concerns over
Wait a minute,
interracial
what?
romance.
It took 2 minutes out of that scene, and we got word that the studio was a little afraid of the interracial context. They were okay with a tall black man covered with bees, but when it came to a kiss or something like that, it was a little bit too risque.
Ever hear of Loving V Virginia? Helen faints.
Yeah, back then,
Scoops her up in the
times were a lot more different.
walks her across the room while reciting some
So
very
that
clever
can make
Bartlett
sense.
dialogue.
The pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite.
Oh,
As
jeez.
exquisite as the pain is going to be, he says their deaths are about to be even doper, since afterward they'll be talked about as legends by everyone in their congregation. Sounds cool, Candyman, but maybe slow your roll with that hook, huh? What kind of girl do you think Helen is? Maybe the kind of girl who's into bees? In that case, here's a chest full
Oh!
of bees. And a mouthful of bees? What? This
That will
is
definitely not get the ladies, but the cavity chest full of bees,
Dr. Norman
maybe it'll impress some ladies.
on the roof of the studio so they could use bees that were younger
Then again, maybe not.
Since baby bees don't have fully developed stingers and are less likely to sting. That proved very necessary for Virginia Madsen, who turns out was super allergic to bee venom. And so paramedics were required to stand by on set just in case she got stung. She didn't, thankfully, possibly because Dr. Gary developed a queen bee.
At least they had a bee handler on there with them. Oh, that's a little disturbing.
As for Tony Todd, for the mouth bees, he wore a dental plate built by effects artist Mark Coulier to keep the bees from crawling around too much, although it didn't work 100% of the time.
He said he could feel one of the bees had got behind.
Oh no! Oh, poor Tony.
Towards the back of his throat as he was delivering the take.
Wow.
We just got everything out there. Yeah, it was pretty intense.
He did get stung once or twice by the mouth bees.
Like being in Tony's
Oh no!
27 stings he suffered during production of all 3 Candyman films happened on his chest, as the bees reacted negatively to the prosthetic design.
Still a really cool practical effect right there.
And in case anyone was worried about the well-being of the bees, the ASPCA was on set while they shot this scene, and Dr. Gary cleaned them all up afterwards with a harmless and hilarious bee vacuum. Candyman takes baby Anthony away and leaves Helen to wake up to a bunch of invisible bees and a message painted on the wall.
It was always you, Helen. It was always you.
I feel like that statement is up to interpretation, but I've always thought of it as Helen being some sort of spiritual reincarnation.
Yeah, I mean, that
Candyman loved
is kind of the thing, right?
Who knows? She hears baby Anthony cry and follows his wails outside, where she hears that they're coming from that garbage heap. Another creation of production.
Oh no!
Who had the city of Chicago truck in a bunch of trash for them to build into a giant heap with safe tunnels in it. The tunnels were
Yeah, I was about to say, how did they get the baby in there? Because he's very small, and it's good that they made those kind of tunnels so people can fit through there.
Inside Cabrini Green, Jakey awakies and looks out the window to see a hook descend into the trash heap.
He's here.
So while Helen inches her way closer to the baby she's trying to save, Jake, thinking Candyman's inside the trash heap, enlists Mother Cabrini
getting his little crew together.
Douse it all in gasoline while more amazing Philip Glass music plays.
I'm coming.
Right as she reaches the baby, they light the torches up.
Oh, shoot.
They light the heap ablaze, and Candyman grabs Helen from behind, intending to hold her captive long enough for all of them to burn together and become a legendary ghost family.
Our bones will soon be ashes, and we shall never be separated again.
Helen breaks free of
Sorry, I got
Candyman's power by
something in my
grabbing a
eye.
stake and stabbing him in the bee chest with it. While he thrashes around angrily, she crawls away with the baby, and although a falling beam lights her fire on the way out, she does manage to escape against Candyman's wishes. See, I would, but, I've got to get my hair fire put out. You understand, right? Helen and her weird melty head prosthetic are able to get the baby to Anne-Marie as Candyman succumbs to the flames. And yes, I know he's a ghost who already died before, but this seems like another kind of...
Yeah, and he's spitting out fire bees! Look at that!
Right there, and there's clearly a charred body
Sorry, I
left in his
spittled a little bit.
But Candyman isn't the only victim of this fire. Helen succumbs to her wounds as well, as revealed.
Yeah, she still ends up dying.
Damn, Trevor, you really about to bring your new boo to your wife's funeral? That's tacky as fuck. At first, it appears as though Helen's funeral could actually use the attendance padding. But her handful of grievers are joined by a procession of Cabrini Green residents, headed by Anne-Marie carrying baby.
Why his mom decided for him to wear that, I have absolutely no idea.
And as a way of saying thank you for everything she did, Jake drops Candyman's
And yet another mistake this movie did.
Shows Trevor moping around at home, apparently already bored with his new paramour. Yeah, dude, you should have appreciated Helen while you had her. Now you're stuck with a college student who doesn't know the first thing about knife safety. Come on, Stacy, you never cut meat when you're angry. Trevor sobs Helen's name into the mirror a few times, and although the first one is really hard to hear, he does say her name 5 times, after which, well, flashing lights warning, by the way, because...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Which, fun fact, in the remake we were getting in 2021, it was supposed to be a Candy Woman this time.
gnarly bloody hook.
Sadly, we did not get
Before
that
Miller
for the
Fresh
remake
rights are over
/
now, 'cause
sequel.
all that's left to see here is Trevor's bloody corpse as discovered by Stacy, who very inconveniently has a knife in her hand. The movie ends with credits that play over a new painting hanging up in Cabrini Green, a portrait of Helen as a fire-haired man. Like Candyman promised, she will now live forever. How many people did Candyman have be his victim? Let's find out and buzz our way to the number. What is it?
Uh-oh.
What is it? No, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah!
Not the bees! I figured you were gonna go for that reference.
Candyman consisting of 3 women and 3 men. Although one of the women was just in a story being told.
Hey, it's an even pie chart! Yay!
With a runtime of 99 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 16.5 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill.
Alright.
Since his kill
I'll give it that. Give credit to that. That was a pretty good. That was a lot of practical blood, too.
Sweet backwards window dive.
And you had that.
Kill will go to Bernadette because the act itself happens off screen.
Yeah, that was questionable.
Weird looking makeup, and that's it.
Alright, well, there you have it, guys. That was my reaction to Dead Meat's kill count / review on the original Candyman. And hey, who knows? Since I mentioned that the Candyman reboot / sequel, maybe I'll do a reaction to that one sometime soon. And maybe if you guys want, I'll do the other Candyman movies, considering there are only 2 that came out after the first one. And then the reboot / sequel. But yeah. Definitely an interesting movie. Yeah, I remember it being really, really interesting the first time I watched it. And definitely some funny stuff from James in that. For the lamest kill, yeah, I guess you say it could, because it's very questionable why Candyman would leave her like that. Also kind of questionable why he would just go after her in the first place, because she really didn't do anything to, like, provoke him or anything. He just stared at her and he's like, oh, you stared at me. Gotta kill you now. I don't know. It's questionable. You guys let me know in the comment section if you know the reason why he killed her, because I still don't understand, or why he left her like that after she died. Very questionable. But anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell to never miss a new video. And yes, I will try my best to get better as quick as I can, because I'm still trying to get better over allergy season, because I don't want to feel this way during my birthday or anything that's coming up. Something like that. Anyways, with that being said, I will see all you awesome guys and gals later. Bye-bye!